One of the key elements of a great-looking V-tapered body is big, broad shoulders.
Gotcha, bitch!
Admit it, who doesn't want cabbed 3D delts like Chris Bumstead or Derek for more plates, more dates? Today, we're going to show you how to build amazing looking shoulders that are going to be popping out of your t-shirt, making you look bigger and more muscular. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? Jeff Cavalier at leanex.com.
Dude,
what?
It's not that kind of channel.
Oh, this is an Leanex. Today we are talking about the deltoid, the shoulders. So this is a triangular shaped muscle that is made up of three parts. The anterior head, which we know as the front delt, the medial head by the side, which we know as the side delts, and finally the posterior head, which we know as the rear delt. Collectively, these three parts perform a pushing function as they work together to push a load upwards away from the body. Individually, they all perform different isolation movements to move the shoulder joint. The front delt originates from the clavicle or the collarbone around somewhere here. I'm not too sure, I'm not a doctor. And it inserts into the side of the humerus, which is the side of your arm. All three parts of the deltoid insert into one part, into the side of the arm. It mainly performs shoulder flexion, which is to bring the arm up in front of the body, and it also medially rotates the humerus, which is to turn the arm inwards towards the body. You can train this muscle by applying resistance to its main function. That means front raises are the best exercise for the front delts. When performing this exercise, we like to keep a slight bend in the elbow as this eases pressure on the bicep and the elbow joint. It is worth noting that front delts are heavily involved in the shoulder press, which we will talk about later on in the video, and in most chest press exercises like the bench press or machine press. So most people get enough work done for their front delts from these exercises. For this reason, it is mostly unnecessary for you to be performing front raises unless your front delts are actually lagging behind, which is quite unlikely. Moving on to the side delts. Now these play a major role in giving you that round capped look in your shoulders that we are all looking for. They originate from a bone protruding from the side of the scapula known as the acromion. The side delts perform shoulder abduction, which is to raise the arm up to the side of the body. The most common exercise and personal favorite for this muscle is the lateral raise. Having a slight bend in the elbow for this one comes down to personal preference, unlike with the front raise. Most people perform the lateral raise to parallel, with the idea that going past parallel isn't as effective for the shoulders as the traps tend to take over the movement. However, after watching a couple of Mike Israel's videos and some experimentation of our own, we found that for some people like myself, going past parallel engages the side delts way more as the range of motion is increased and you really feel the muscle working. So do experiment yourself and find out what works best for you to really activate your side delts. The standard lateral raise does have the weakness of being very easy at the bottom but quite hard at the top, as there is very little action from gravity at the bottom. A solution to this problem would be to hold on to a fixed item such as a Smith machine and lean to the side when performing the lateral raises, as this fixes the gravity problem. Or you can simply do the cable variation that has more constant tension throughout the whole movement. If you have trouble keeping proper form throughout this whole exercise, you might want to try the machine variation, as it keeps you locked in the range of motion the whole time. You can also try out upright rows, although these are quite controversial due to their high potential of causing shoulder injuries. To make it safer, be sure to use a wider grip. Do not lift as heavy on this exercise and keep the rep range higher, somewhere between 12 to 20 reps.
Finally, the rear delts. These originate from the back of the scapula, also known as the spine of the scapula. They insert into the side of the humerus. They perform shoulder extension, which is to bring the arm down from a flexed position and extend it all the way back to the back of the body. They also externally rotate the arm, which is to turn the arm outwards away from the body. Rear delts are usually neglected by most people, as a result are underdeveloped. Some people don't even know that they have rear delts. I mean, no one can see them anyway because they're at the back, right? Wrong. When viewed from the side, rear delts play an important role in making your shoulders look full and complete. The best exercises to develop your rear delts would be the likes of face pulls, reversed pec flies, reversed dumbbell flies, and rear delt rows. We just gave you a variety of exercises. Train your rear delt. You can't be skipping leg day and rear delt day too. With the face pulls, you want to make sure to keep your elbows to the side while pulling, instead of leaving them more at the front of your body. To help you do this, you want to start with a pronated grip at the beginning of the pull. Then turn your wrists inwards to a more neutral grip as you pull. This cue should help you keep the form that allows your rear delts to properly be engaged. With the reverse pec dick and reverse flies, you want to keep a slight bend in the elbow with a wider shoulder angle. A good way to ensure you always have a wider shoulder angle is to keep your wrists pronated throughout the movements and focus on keeping your elbows in line with your shoulders. This wide angle is also necessary to properly activate the rear delts when performing the delt rows, as it helps you to pull the bar more towards your chest.
All the exercises we've mentioned are best executed with moderate to lighter weights, somewhere in the 12 to 20 rep range, with a heavy focus on mind-muscle connection. Going heavy on these exercises isn't the brightest idea, as most of them except the face pulls and the rear delt rolls are isolation movements and the risk of injury increases. The only exception to this rule would be the shoulder press, which is the main compound movement for the shoulders. This is the best exercise to start with during a shoulder workout, as it has a high loading potential and also allows for progressive overload. Some would even call it the king of shoulder exercises. To perform this exercise, you want to hold the bar slightly wider than shoulder width. This allows your hands to be perpendicular with the floor at the starting position, which is somewhere between your nose and your chin. Then you want to make your body rigid by bracing your core, retracting your shoulder blades, squeezing your glutes, and planting your feet firmly to the ground. From there, you want to push the bar up in a straight line with your braced core preventing your back from bending. Then slowly return to your starting position and repeat for reps. As mentioned earlier, this is the one exercise you can go heavy on for the shoulders, somewhere in the 7 to 10 rep range. Just be sure to execute it with proper form to prevent injuries and to use a belt where necessary. An example of a good shoulder exercise would look something like this.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the bell button so that YouTube informs you every time we post a new video, and share this video to your friends and family so that they can also benefit from this information. If you have any questions or contributions, please leave a comment below and we will be sure to respond to your comment.
Valid.